Hey, big guy. So Casper and I are in here after doing my tours today, and so I've had a lot of people asking lately about the TV work I've worked on, what shows I've been on, stuff like that. Now, I've worked in many different TV shows. I mean, literally dozens of different TV shows over the years. I first started working on TV shows about 2007 was probably the first show I ever worked on. So I've worked on shows for Animal Planet, Discovery Channel, Travel Channel, CNN, NBC, E, History, Fox, the Weather Channel. I mean, it's like a very long list. So a ton of different networks. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that I am very thankful for the opportunities that I have had in working in television, and like I have had many benefits from them. But unfortunately, it has also been an overwhelmingly negative experience of working in TV and just being exposed to the ethics or lack thereof of working in television, especially in animal TV, has been really bad. Whether I was working behind the camera or in front of the camera, I have seen some really messed up stuff. So I'm going to say this right now. Everything I'm about to say is hypothetical situations of my opinion and are possibly fictitious, and nothing I'm about to say is actually rooted in true fact, and it's just my personal opinion and likely fictitious. So don't take anything 100%, because I had to sign all kinds of contracts saying that they will sue me if I ever talk about anything I did on camera. So that's why I'm going to tell you this is all fake. I'm just talking. It's not a big deal. So that way, you know. That's also why I'm going to be very vague. I'm not going to name any names or networks or whatever. Just know that I've worked on many different ones, but I do want to try to tell you guys about some of the stories I've had, because I've had a lot of people ask about it. It's just scary because you don't want to get sued. You don't want these people to come after you. So that's why I'm going to say this is all fictitious and not real, so don't worry. Wink, wink, whatever. Okay. Now, so some of the stuff I've had happen on TV shows. Well, first of all, let's talk about reality TV, because reality TV is overwhelmingly not reality. There goes the mule back there. Okay. That's reality TV. Cue the ass. Okay. Literally right on cue right there. But he's got a stick on his head. But yeah, so overwhelmingly reality TV is not reality, guys. And so why did reality TV become so popular? I've worked on quite a few different reality TV shows. And so the rise of reality TV was because networks realized that they could give regular people scripts and literally have the entire show completely scripted, just like any other TV show. 100% fake. Hand you a script, but because you're not a real actor, then when you come across on camera not being able to act very well, they say it's because it's reality TV. And so that's how they get around this thing of being able to still 100% script the show, but then because everybody isn't very good on TV, that's just because they're not actors. They don't know how to act, and it's reality. So they get away with that part, right? But the bigger one that they're trying to get away with there is then they don't have to pay you as an actor. They make you act like an actor, and they make you literally read a script, and they direct everything and completely control it just like any other TV show. But then they pay the people on there a per episode fee. A lot of these per episode fees, again, per episode, that means not reoccurring. That means any show that I've been on, when they air it again and again and again and again, you don't get paid for any of those. You only get paid the day that you're on the set actually working per episode. A lot of times, again, it is per episode, not even per day, to actually correct that one. Sometimes it is per day, but most of them are per episode. So one episode can come across on TV as if it is happening within a couple hours of a single day. Most episodes take several days to shoot. So you're taking several days worth of content and then putting it together as if it's one single day. And you're paid, again, per episode, right? Now that per episode payment, for me, oftentimes could be as low as $300 per episode. If you're working on a TV show for a week, on a TV show for a major network, $300 for the week's worth of work. And then especially for me, I'm working with dangerous animals that are trying to kill me on camera. Casper, let's get him back over here actually. Come here. He's just over there chilling. But we're gonna get him back in here so you guys aren't just listening to me talk, you can actually still see him and whatnot. But yeah, so a lot of these, they start out really low like that, and then you're literally risking your life dealing with dangerous animals, and they're paying you like peanuts. And even on TV shows that then become successful, like I've worked on some where I'm getting paid $1,000 per episode, you know, or something like that. And I've known people where the show becomes really successful, then they can get paid even more. So that's where like you can have the rise of a reality TV show star that's actually making real money, but that's usually only if it's gone on for a while. And then you have people that are making like, you know, $10,000 or $20,000 per episode. I've known people like that when it's a very popular show. But that's also why there's such a high turnover rate on so many reality shows. You're just like, oh, I love that show. Why did they cancel it? Because as the show becomes more successful, the person, the talent, then has more leveraging power to be able to demand more money. And so to prohibit that from happening, they just cancel the show, start over on a new one. And it's so that's why so many TV shows that you are like, dude, I love that show. Why'd they cancel it? Because they don't want that talent to have that leveraging power to get more money out of the show. Because the network or the production company wants to retain all that money. Now, to put this in perspective, if you're thinking like, oh man, making $1,000 per episode, that's good money, right? No, because those people are making millions. A lot of times, like I've worked on these shows and the episode budget is like $100,000, $200,000 per episode, and then they pay you $1,000. And if the producer can try to retain those costs the best that they can, they just pocket it at the end. Because I've known these producers personally. And so obviously when it goes to the network, they're going to say, oh no, we spent everything. The entire budget was spent on the show, you know, whatever. In reality, they control the situation in every corner of it so that they can then at the end of it pocket all that for themselves. And so I've known a lot of producers who do that. And so they're by incentivized to not pay the talent very much to begin with. I know this is kind of getting the weeds for a lot of people, but I've had a lot of people also asking about, you know, the insight into these kind of things and how they work. And so again, the rise of reality TV is just rooted in the idea that you are then making an actor, but you don't have to pay them as actor. There's no Screen Actors Guild. You can't demand it. There's no union. They're not, you know, it's reality TV and it's portrayed as reality, so they're not unionized. So those people are not getting paid fairly, and then they're doing all the work as an actor would. They're reading literal scripts, and then the network just makes so much money off of it, and then it's such an easily cancelable thing too. You just, boom, pull the rug out from under them. Again, no union, and then you just move on to the next one, and that's why all these shows just pop up, boom, 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 right after another, right? So that's a whole can of worms in itself. Now, as far as the animal side of a lot of these shows I've worked on, almost, and I mean almost all of them are staged. And what I mean by staged is where they will fake the animal interactions. Here, we can move back over here so we're with him. But so what they'll do, I've worked on a lot of them, and even natural history shows, even on respected networks and respectable shows. Again, I can't name names, but you would be very surprised. I've worked on them where like, hey, Chris, we're going to be in Florida next week. Can you catch us this, and this animal so we can stage all the captures? So they'll have me like, I don't do these anymore, but back in the day when I was young and I was excited and I wanted to work in TV and I thought this was my in, I was like, oh yeah, wow, I'm going to be on this show and I get to help out. And so they tell you like a month ahead of time, I need you to have a Burmese python, we need an alligator, we need an eastern diamondback rattlesnake, and then they have their host come in, and that's how you'll see the TV host walking by and be like, within 1 day of searching, like, oh my God, we found a python, and we found a rattlesnake, and we found a coral snake, and all this stuff, because it's all fake. So what you don't see is a TV host walking over, and in the background, here's like me at 18 years old running over with a snake and then let it go in the bushes right in front of the guy so he can walk up and be like, oh wow, look, there's a snake, and then they catch it. It's insane how almost all these shows are completely faked in this manner. And I mean, again, I can't name names, but you guys, you really would not believe how like almost all of them, not all of them, there are some that are real, but almost all of them are completely fake. And the way that you can find out as a viewer, if you are watching any kind of show and the camera is already looking here and then people walk into the scene, that means it's a staged encounter. Unless the camera's actually following the guy around and then, you know, like cop style, that's usually real. If they're following him and it's bouncing around, you're walking, you see people searching, that's real. But if it's ever where like the camera's already set up here and I'm already here and I'm like, oh my God, look, that's staged. Why would they know to have the camera already there? So any show where you see where people walk into the scene, it's staged, okay? So that's one that you can always look at as a viewer and be like, oh man, that's fake, you know? And so now that you know this, you'll see this constantly in different shows. And especially the animal shows, then there's some dude in the bushes who just lets it go so that then they can, oh wow, look, oh, what a thought, you know, and then they catch it or whatever. I remember as a kid, I was obviously obsessed with animals. I go out and catch snakes. That's all I did in my free time, is to go catch snakes for real. And then I'd watch TV shows. And I remember a specific moment where I'm watching a TV show and I see this guy and he's walking around. He's like, and he flips one palm frond. He's like, oh, look, a coral snake. And I'm like, no, that's not real. I remember being a kid and being so angry because I realized, like, this is fake. I catch coral snakes. I find them for real. That is not how you find them. And so, to really give you an emphasis on how staged some of these interactions are, there was one show, God, I wish I could tell you what it was. They went to South America and they filmed an entire episode in the Amazon in Florida. The entire Amazon episode was filmed in Florida, and I know the people whose backyards they filmed in. They just hooked up with people here in South Florida who, some people grew exotic plants from the area, and they would just go and film the whole special that ends up on national television in the Amazon, exploring and then just sourcing various different Amazonian animals that are held in captivity in Florida, staging the entire thing, and then you put it out there and it's up all over the place. Literally, I wish I could tell you who. You wouldn't believe it, and it's just crazy. And I already, you know, like I saw it and I'm like, that entire thing, that guy never even left Florida and made an entire Amazon documentary exploring the Amazon in South America from Florida without ever leaving the state. It's insane. This is on major cable network TV. So like, it just makes me crazy. So if you ever see me when I'm ranting about TV and like how much I hate TV, this is why. And so the staging part is really bad. Now, why do so many networks stage things? Because they usually have a very limited amount of time. So if you have a major camera crew, you've got a producer, you've got multiple cameramen, sound people, the talent, there's a lot of moving parts. And so what they're going to do to be able to make this work is they're going to stage everything so they can knock out the whole series within a week. And so that's why they do that, because there's a lot of different people, a lot of money involved, and they don't want to have to pay these people to actually do it for real and put the real time into it. So that's why they're incentivized to do it this way, unfortunately. Now, with that staging comes a lot of ethical issues, obviously. So like I said, I have worked on that side of it on a couple of shows, and I won't do it. You know, I did it when I was young and dumb and didn't know any better, and I thought it was going to be my way to get into the TV world and get my own TV show. And I literally did it a handful of times. I was like, I'm never doing this again. Like, the ethics are so bad. It's so wrong. Some of these guys, like, they will keep animals like snakes especially in little tiny boxes for days, weeks without food or water, and then because they're waiting for the right moment to be able to use it on the shoot. Or a big one I see all the time on survival shows, this one makes me so unbelievably mad, because I've seen it, either I see it on TV and I can recognize it, or I've even worked on shows. I worked on one show where it was supposed to be survival, and they went and they bought a pig. They bought a pig at a market and then brought it, and then expected the talent on camera, I was one of them, they expected us to kill the pig on camera for survival because we're surviving in the jungle. And I got up in that producer's face. I literally almost got in a fist fight. And I told him, like, I literally said to this guy, like, I'm in his face, and I'm like, if you think we're gonna kill that pig, you're out of your mind. He's like, no, that's what the network wants. You guys have to do it. I'm like, I'm not doing it. He's like, well, that's what the network wants. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. And then like we got into like almost a physical confrontation with the guy. And I'm like, hey, I don't know if you noticed, we're in a foreign country. I am going to, and I'm gonna say this in nicer ways, I'm going to severely hurt you, and there's no one that can stop me because we're in another country. You can't call the cops. We're in the middle of nowhere. So if you think you're going to abuse an animal, I'm going to abuse you personally. So you better let the animal go if you'd expect to walk out of here. And I literally got in the guy's face and told him that, and they let the pig go, you know? But that's how bad it was. Like, and Casper just sunk down right there. He doesn't want to hear about this. It's horrible. Okay, it's so sad. But I mean, that is a real situation that I was in, where like I had to physically threaten this person to keep them from committing animal abuse and murdering an animal on camera for survival. Because again, what they're going to do is take this pig and then let it go right in front of the people, and then have people try to kill it and beat it with spears and stuff for survival. So many of these shows do that. So many of these survival shows buy animals at markets and release them on purpose to be killed by the talent. One of the worst ones I watched was a show where they're surviving and then surviving. Again, most of these people are staying at hotels. You're okay, George. You're fine. If you guys see the camera angle start tilting, it's because George is like, oh, Casper is creeping up. He's going to try to bite me. He's fine. He's fine. There you go, Casper. You're good. But so one of the worst ones is they're surviving in like Louisiana or some crap, and they very clearly found, well, they didn't find a gator. In the show, they find an alligator to go and they kill it and eat it. And then when you actually know what you're looking at, it's a gator that has very clearly metabolic bone disease, which means it's raised in captivity. So they bought a captive alligator and let it go on camera so that they may beat it to death and then cook it up and eat it to survive. It's a pet alligator or an alligator from a farm or whatever. It's a captive, it's not wild at all. And just so sad, so sad. But I know this video is going pretty long already. I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this because there's so much more to tell you guys about. But let me know in the comments what you think of this video, what you think of what I've said so far, and other questions you might have. And we're gonna do a part 2 to this, guys. So as always, like, share, subscribe. We'll see y'all next time.